trapping out the GameStop. Now listen, this happened so long ago. I'm talking, this happened when I was in 6th grade. Or going into 6th grade, pretty much. But just about 6th grade, I'd say. So, I had a buddy, and we're just going to call him, we're going to use his real name. His name's Scott. Super cool guy. I've been friends with him pretty much, since 5th grade. This is obviously a story when we were kids, so don't really need to cover any names up. And, I mean, it's really just a kind of a chill, somewhat more, less, a little more family-friendly story, I guess. So anyways, now I gotta, listen, as a kid, man, there was really one place that I wanted to go, and that was GameStop. And, being a little bit of a businessman, it was the perfect place. I mean, you can buy and sell your games right there. And, I've had some come ups with GameStop. I know a lot of people like to talk about, all of the, somewhat negative things, I guess. But, dude, I mean, there were times when they actually did stuff that greatly benefited me, and we'll get into it. So, dude, I mean, this was so long ago, it's crazy, but I'll never really forget this. Again, we just used to love GameStop, dude. So, this one fateful day, right, we both, because my buddy Scott hit me up, and he's like, dude, I was looking on GameStop's website, and, like, you can get an original Xbox for, like, dude, I think it was, like, $50, like something just stupid cheap, which at the time, this was like 2007? Probably 2007. So, like, this was a long time ago, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, that's, an amazing, because I didn't have, the only consoles I had, or that I was really allowed to have at the time, were like Nintendo. Like, I had a Wii, which I was super grateful to have, but I didn't have like an Xbox or a PlayStation or anything like yet, so we just we saw this opportunity. We're like, dude, like, so my parents, they would always go to this Sam's Club at the time, right? That was right next to a GameStop. So me and Scott hatched a genius little plan, right? We're like, look, while my parents are in Sam's Club shopping, we will just go into GameStop, and, we're going to, like, we had a plan. We had a bunch of stuff we were going to trade in, and we were going to both buy original Xboxes. He really wanted Halo 2. I wanted everything, dude. It was all so new to me. It was all so exciting. Like, this was, literally a dream come true in this moment. Just not having a parent, being in, like, we were so hyped. And so we get dropped off at GameStop, right? And I don't really remember exactly on this day what we had to trade in. But, I mean, look, I probably spent at least, like, probably $120, because I got an Xbox, and I got, dude, I don't know, like 10 games. I mean, games were so cheap back then, you could find them. I mean, even now, I guess you can get them cheap, but, like, you'd find games for like $1, $2, and I guess what was different back then is, like, the value of money. So I guess, being able to get a game for like $1 was just like, wow, that's just crazy, and it's super cheap. And I don't know if that even makes sense, but it just, as a kid, it was like, it was crazy to us, like, that they had those little bins, with the super cheap. I mean, most of them were trash, but there was some good games in there, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. So either way, we, dude, we're in this GameStop for, oh my God, it felt like 5 hours. I mean, we always said 5 hours, but it was probably realistically 2 to 3. And, my parents used to do really big shopping trips. And not only that, they probably were doing other things there. I think they even went to go get food after or before or something, just to buy us more time. Because we're like, look, we're going to need all the time you can give us in here. I mean, we're going to be doing some big business. Like, we're going to be making some plays. And, it really felt like we were back then, because it's like we were just kids, we're in 5th, 6th grade, whatever. But just having the ability to, and again, I know GameStop really takes advantage of people. But for example, one time I sold, I think it was an original Nintendo DS, right? And the dude marked it in as like a PSP, like something, right? So instead of getting like $50 like I was supposed to, I got like $100, which, like, little things like that would just go crazy. Or like, even like my buddy Scott, I don't know where this kid would find video games. Like, half the time I think he just like spawned them out of nowhere, because like he would just come across some really rare stuff. I mean, obviously he's probably, eBay or his parents, garage sales, whatever, but I feel like he would always come across the most rare stuff. And especially at the time, and we'd always trade and whatever. And so it was just an ongoing thing. Like, honestly, collectively, like in my career of selling to GameStop, like I've probably walked out of there, like, obviously I always took store credit, because I'm like, I don't want the cash, bro, I'm gonna spend the money here, with probably like a conservative like $1,500, which as a kid with no money, that's pretty good. It's like, time and time again, I always had the games I wanted. And I'm being conservative. It was probably double that. It was probably more like 3,000, because realistically thinking about it, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and even like freshman, sophomore year, I was spending pretty good money on video games. Now, obviously, I really stopped after then, but it just, yeah, dude, we were in that GameStop for, like I said, what felt like 5 hours. And when my parents finally came back to get us, we needed my mom to, like, because some of the games we were buying were M, and like, obviously we're just kids, we can't buy a game that's rated M. So like, and it was this whole thing, because my mom really didn't want to buy those types of games, even though that's all I really wanted. But of course, like, my friend Scott found like the perfect loophole where it's like his mom said it was fine, so he's like, oh, you can just call her and ask her. And that's exactly what my mom did. And then, yeah, she's like, okay, I guess those are fine. And then since, she basically caved in on me. So I ended up getting Halo and like a couple other games. And the guy was plugging, dude. Like, the employee couldn't have been a better employee, because, and again, no chance in hell this guy still works there, but like, he was playing it so cool. He's like, Halo, man, that's like Mario Kart, like little worse than, like, he was just making these games sound like child's play, which I really appreciated, because it made my mom kind of like calm down a little bit. Like, he's like, there's nothing, like you shoot like these aliens, it doesn't show anything. Like, I don't know, he was just making it so chill. Like, it's like, dude, it's like Roblox, so it just worked out perfect. And like I said, we probably both, collectively spent like $250. It was insane. It was one of the best days probably in my life. Like, it'd probably, be up there for sure, because it just was so surreal. Like, I don't know, something about Xbox too back in the day. Like, I had a PS2, I had a PlayStation 1, I had a PS3, I had a 360, I had a Wii, I had pretty much every console. Like, I wasn't biased, but I don't know, something about just the Xbox original, like, it was just different back in the day. And yeah, like, we had our phases though. It's like, after the Xbox, we ended up, trading in our Xboxes in for PS2s, or who knows, but we constantly were on like a different, and there was always like an advantage to having one console over the other. But I mean, I I loved playing video games, and so it's like to have a place. Obviously, you did lose a lot of your money. I'm not denying that, but it kept me going. Like if I could sell 10 games and then walk out with one, I mean, hey, dude, one time, literally, I remember this so like it was yesterday. I was at the mall, right? I'm at GameStop, and I didn't have money. I'm just a kid. I got money from chores or my birthday. Well, I had a quarter collection. Like I was saving up. Like I had almost 50 states. Like all 50 states pretty much of like, of these like certain years, or like I was just like working on this quarter collection or whatever. And dude, I cashed the whole thing in to buy Halo 3. And truth be told, if there's one thing about me that needs to be said about me when I die, it's this. Because even the GameStop employee was like, dude, you shouldn't do this. Like, this quarter collection is going to be so much more valuable than this game. And I was like, no, dude, I stand. Halo 3, listen, Halo 3, I'm getting a little bit worked up right now just talking about it, is the single-handedly best game of all time. Just period of all time. There's some other games that come close for me, but Halo 3 is just, it's elite. It's a one percenters game. I mean, not everyone's going to understand it. But listen, what I want people to remember me for is that, yes, I did trade a coin collection that could be potentially worth millions of dollars. But to acquire such a, just relic as Halo 3, I mean, if the terminology they don't make them like they used to came from anything, it came from this game. It's just a simple fact that the craftsmanship and quality of this game outproduce anything that could ever possibly be attempted for the rest of time. So I just, to that employee, I say, thank you for challenging me and, allowing me to display my true beliefs, because, I would probably trade both of my kidneys for Halo 3 if it came to it. I would trade, there's endless things I would do. I would commit GTA just to go play Halo 3. Like, I would do just about anything for that game. So let it be known. But either way, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. I'll see you in the next one.